All right, good morning, good morning. It's been a little while. Today is Wednesday. So 2 days ago, which would have been Monday, which was Monday, that marked my 3 weeks since surgery, 3 weeks post-surgery of the diastasis recti surgical repair that I had. So I want to catch you guys up to speed, particularly because some of you, I actually had some people comment in email that they have this same problem, that they have this issue. They've been medically diagnosed with this issue. And I even had a couple people say they think that they have this issue. If you think that you have this issue, I'll tell you here's an easy way to tell. If you're lying flat on your back and you're an older guy, in particular an older guy, you don't have to be, but especially in older people, it's kind of considered normal. Start to do a sit-up. As you begin to do a sit-up or a crunch, you will see this whole middle band from below your breastbone down to your navel. You'll see this thing bulge up like a little tent almost. You'll just see like a little raised portion when you flex like that. If you see that, that's an indication. Doesn't mean you have to have this surgery or that you should have this surgery. It just means that this thing is stretched. It doesn't have the same elasticity that it once had, and that's what you're seeing. You're actually seeing it give in a way that it would not have, or it did not, when you were young and it was healthy and it was really, really tight. This thing is just like a huge girdle. It's like a girdle underneath that's just literally holding your guts together, holding your guts in. This is why it's important to wear a belt, especially as you get older. As you get older, it's totally normal for this thing. This thing is going to loosen up. It will loosen up. It's no maybe about it, particularly if you've been a physically active person. And you need to stabilize or equalize that pressure. So when you put a belt on, a lot of people think a belt is to protect your back. Look, if it gives you some back support, then whatever, do what you want to do with your life. You're better off to make sure you have a nice strong back though. But what it really is going to do is it counterbalances this internal abdominal, intra-abdominal pressure that you're building up inside. And it gives you something to push against, to push out against. So when you do this sit-up, just like I just described, you see that thing bulging up, that belt holds that back down so you're able to push against something. If you don't have anything to push against, you're just stretching that, you're just stretching that band, stretching that out more, loosening it up more, and you're running the risk of blowing a hole through it somewhere. Another way you can tell is you could, depending on how much elasticity has been lost in your individual case, potentially, you could do a push-up. Get in a push-up position to do a push-up or a plank and look down and see if you see something bulging out when you're flexing and contracting that doesn't look that way when you're just standing up. That's one way that you can get an idea. Does that mean that you should get the surgery or you have to get this surgery? And, I would say no, but I'm really glad that I was able to get the surgery. I'm very glad and grateful. I can already tell that it's going to be a huge, huge improvement and upgrade. But initially, let me tell you what the experience is like. So if any of you guys are considering it or needing it, or you're about to go and get it, like one individual, one brother on here, I believe he goes the 25th, I think he said. So this video will get up just in time, I guess. But you're going to have a lot of pain initially. You're going to feel messed up initially. And they may not prescribe anything for you that's going to, that's going to shut that pain down. You may have to you're going to deal with some pain. The scariest thing, the most unsettling thing is going to be when you need to cough. If you're laying around and this thing lays you down on your back, there's always the potential you can develop pneumonia. You will be intubated You will be intubated on a ventilator when the surgery occurs. So you don't want to get pneumonia. You will build up some. You're going to build up some phlegm in your lungs. A healthy, normal person, you're going to get that up. You're going to be able to cough that up, and life goes back to normal, within a matter of time. But coughing is going to be extremely precarious. In fact, you'll have almost no control over your core. You'll have almost no ability to really contract that core at all, and you shouldn't contract that core. It's going to be so tender and so messed up, and it's going to look like Frankenstein. But it's going to get better. That will go away. Mine looked like literally a huge tent zipper had been inserted under my skin, because they come in robotically and they do it under the skin here. So in the end result, you're not going to have to walk around with a scar all the way down the front of your body that's right there staring you in the face. But this thing will be so swollen and aggravated that mine looked like I had a huge canvas tent sticker zipper sticking up, protruding through my skin. It looked horrible. And it didn't even look like it was actually straight. It looked like it was off to one side a little bit crooked. And at one point, it literally looked like my abs weren't in the correct position anymore. It looked like they were moving around in a way that was all, I've always had really straight abs. I'll put a picture here, but it looked like they were all kind of crooked. And I figured, what is this going to look like now? I guess you got to take the bad with the good. But it has by now, it has settled down. I can't see this zipper sticking up through my skin anymore. I can look and I can see there's something under there, but it's not very noticeable now. And my abs seem to have, I don't know how they can independently move, but it seems like now that this is straight, right up the midline, and it looks like my abs are settling back where they belong. It just looks like everybody's moving back into position and there where it's supposed to be, where everything's supposed to be. And because you initially will not have the ability really to contract your core at all, and like I said, you shouldn't. It'll be extremely painful. You don't want to go through this again, and you don't want to go through this for naught. So you want to gain all the benefit you can. So you want to err on the side of extreme caution. At least I do. I don't want to blow through any of this, tear any of this apart while it's all raw and fresh. I want that shit to knit together and heal. So if you have to cough, it's going to be very painful. It's going to be disturbing and very difficult to cough any phlegm up. So you want to get a pillow. You literally want to get a pillow. The doctor will probably tell you this and you'll think, yeah, that's going to help. It really does. You want to get a pillow, something pretty sturdy, and hold it against your midsection. Hold that pillow and lean into that pillow against you when you try to cough. And still, you're not going to be able to muster much of a cough at all. But you will get through it. You will get through it. Next thing is, I got to bring this up. I got to talk about this, because if you're going to have this procedure, or you are in the middle of getting ready to have it, you're going to need to know this. So I got to talk about it. They are going to they should anyway, they definitely should prescribe you or give you some kind of a stool softener, and you're going to need that. You are going to need that, so take it. Because again, you have no control over your core, your midsection basically, so you can't push at all, so you cannot contract at all, and it's extremely painful. So as far as a bowel movement, it basically is going to have to make its way out on its own when you sit down on the toilet. You're not going to be able to contract anything at all or squeeze anything at all. So you're going to need to have a stool softener. You're going to be grateful for that. And do not be alarmed if it takes days before you can even have any bowel movement at all. It took me maybe 4 days before I had any kind of bowel movement at all. And that was disturbing to me. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm eating, and what's going to happen now? Some kind of blockage, or some kind of other problem. But, bear with it, work through the process. It's healing. Like I said, everything has been through a lot of trauma. It's going to all work out. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Just be very careful. Don't strain. They tell you for the first 6 weeks, do not lift more than 20 pounds. They tell you initially, don't even lift 20 pounds. And I'm going to say, yeah, don't do anything that involves your core if you can avoid it at all. Nothing. Pamper yourself, baby yourself, because when it heals, if it heals correctly, if you don't tear it apart while it's all raw and fresh, all this has been torn apart, pulled back together, stitched up, every other thing. And then they've got a big piece of mesh in there, and that's all sewed together. And that shit's gonna hurt too, even now at 3 weeks out. Certain ways I move, I'm wearing a binder right now because the binder is more comfortable for me to wear. It gives me more stability. There are some times where I'll go 2 days with no binder on at all, sleep without it, everything else. But it gives me more stability. So when I'm having issues with pain, I'm still very cautious. I don't want to tear anything. I want everything to heal correctly. I don't want to go through this again, and I want to reap all the benefits of having had this done. So right now, yeah, treat yourself with kindness and caution. Now, I have one pain that just persists. I have other pains sometimes, but one that really persists is up under my left side, like up under my rib right here, just under my rib. And I just saw the surgeon yesterday for him to take a look at it, and he said that because the mesh is secured over here, right up underneath of there, it's kind of like a tent in the wind. The tent has all these guidelines on it, and in the wind, as it blows to one side, one line tightens up more while the other gives a little slack. The other slackens up, one's tightening up. And because everything's so raw, when you move certain ways, you bend and twist or lean over or whatever have you, that's what you're doing. All that is still very raw, so bear that in mind. If you treat yourself gently right now, it'll heal up and it'll be great. And theoretically, hopefully, supposedly, it'll be basically like you're young again as far as durability and how tight this is going to be. I can already tell you that as the swelling has gone down, and there was a lot of swelling, as the swelling's gone down, my waistline is flat and tight. True, I have lost about 12 pounds, but that's been by design. I don't want to keep my weight up just for the sake of keeping weight up now because I'm too old for that. Typically, that's how I would have done it, and then just done a recomp. Because my opinion is for mass gain, the body prefers just to carry that weight. That's what your body needs to accept, that, hey, this is what I weigh. That's where you want that homeostasis to be, that, yeah, I weigh this, I weigh X. You don't want to, over a period of months or a long period of weeks where you're down. I typically would not allow myself to lose a whole bunch of weight and atrophy and lose weight on a scale, and then I have to come back up. I think that's more difficult to do than it is for me to go ahead and allow my body composition to basically begin to fall apart. And I lose muscle and I may gain body fat, but I'm going to maintain similar weight. That's easier and it's more efficient for me to come back and do a recomp and get back to where I was afterwards than it is for me to have to gain mass, period, size, again, weight. But now considering my age, it's not good to carry all that weight, especially superfluous. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. Superfluous weight in the form of body fat that I don't need, because every pound that I want to carry is a potential negative impact on my heart. So, if I can keep lean, then I can more safely carry the size I want to carry. Can't afford the luxury of carrying body fat like I could if I was younger. So, yeah, my waist is already smaller. My waist is already flatter. And it's not just because of the weight that I've lost, although I'm sure that plays into it, because I've lost muscle. I haven't been training, I haven't been eating, I haven't been pushing a lot of protein down my throat, I haven't been doing any of these things. But and I've been very inactive, that's why I don't need to eat. But now I am eating in regard that I want the material there to repair the tissue and heal. But other than that, because this is pulled in so tight and got everything pulled back together, that has literally made me smaller around the midline. So there's all kind of good benefits to it. It's a very painful experience. It's a pain in the ass. Don't push it. Don't rush it. I want to get back in the gym very badly. I want to do something. But I keep telling myself, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You know, give it time, play it by what it feels like. If it takes 6 weeks, it takes 6 weeks, whatever the case may be. It will be worth it in the end. So I think that's about all I can say about that, or all that I have on the top of my head or forefront of my mind that I can touch on. Diastasis recti surgery. It's a major surgery, so you're going to go through some changes and you're going to go through some discomfort. No question about that. Just be careful, take it easy, make life easy. The biggest threats initially are going to be coughing, bowel movements, anything where you're going to have to contract. God help you if you need to sneeze. You don't want that to happen if you can avoid it. Because again, you don't want to run the risk of tearing any of this loose. So that's it. At week 3, I'm feeling pretty good. I still have some pain, but it's not anything I can't endure. It's not horrible. And let me tell you something, initially it is horrible. So that's it. I just wanted to get an update about that. I have a lot of videos to make. I have a lot of requests for videos, which I'm grateful for. I like that because then I know what you guys want to hear or see. It gives me topics. And I have a lot of email to answer. So please bear with me. Like I said, I've been just laying around, literally. I'm getting up and trying to be somewhat active, but I'm not trying to overdo it. I want to err on the side of caution right now. Yeah, because I have a plan. This is part of the plan, and I need all this to be right and strong. I need to be able to count on it, and the performance needs to be there for me to get back in the condition that I have a mindset that I want to go and what I want to achieve by summertime. And to be able to do this, everything hinges on this core being right. All right, that's it for now. You guys take care. Hope you're having an awesome day.